Good morning, class, for Business 330. Today I'd like to review with you this spreadsheet we're building for a cash budget. This is for, let's say, session 4, the case study. And I know there's been a little confusion, and I also recognize it's difficult when someone else puts together a spreadsheet and asks you to plug in the formulas or the numbers. When you build your own spreadsheet, you know what you're looking for, so I think it's a little simpler. So let me review that for you. First of all, when you open this homework spreadsheet, you're going to see 3 tabs across the bottom. And one is to calculate the very first tab on the bottom left is to calculate your estimated cash income, your receivables. The second one is to calculate your expenditures, and then that gives you the numbers that you're going to plug into the appropriate place in your budget. So just so you know what the goal is here. The first one is pretty simple. Frankly, when you look at this first spreadsheet, excuse me for not looking at the camera, but I want to make sure I'm giving correct information here. You're asked, frankly, you see that you've got February, March, April, and May, and you've got certain expenditures already plugged in there. And if you look at the bottom of February, you see a total of $98,300. All that is a total. And frankly, all you're being asked to do is total the other columns, nothing more. The $98,300 then, you will plug into your final budget where it says cash receipts. And you'll see a blank. You put $98,300 for February. You'll do the same thing for March, April, and May. Pretty simple. Now the second spreadsheet on the second tab is your expected expenditures. A little more complex, but not really. So you see there are basically 3 areas in that spreadsheet. The first one is called payroll expenses. Okay, all the numbers are there except the totals where it says subtotal payroll and other employee expenses. Okay. You just want to total the rows above in each column for March. So you have $72,000 if you look in February, $72,000 in payroll expenses, and 0 for substitute teachers, and then $700 for retirement withholding, giving you a total of $72,700. Okay. March you have $72,000, $26.56, and $700. You total those. So all of those, the column there that says subtotal, you just simply total those. Then under the second area of that spreadsheet is other expenses. Okay, same thing. Go down to total other expenses. Frankly, copy the formula and put it in so that you are totaling each of the columns, March, April, and May, for total other expenses. There's nothing in the store certification remittances, so the total regular expenses would be the total of your payroll numbers, payments to church, and total other expenses. And again, that first one is already calculated for you at $86,770. You see that? Then there's 0 in capital expenditures, so your total cash disbursement under February at the very bottom line would be $86,770. You duplicate that, and obviously there is a capital expenditure in March, so you would, that would be higher than your total regular expenses. But at any rate, you calculate each of those, then you take the total cash disbursement. In February, that's going to be $86,770. You go to your final budget and you plug that $86,770 into your cash disbursements row column for February. That would give you in February, for example, $5,000 beginning cash, $98,300 for receipts, $86,770 for disbursements, and a net cash flow would be your cash receipts less your disbursements. In this case, I'll just tell you it's $11,530. Now your ending cash is your beginning cash balance less your net cash flow, which was 11,530, right? So it's 16,530. Now you are shooting for 25,000, so you subtract that from the 16 and you'll get a negative number, okay? Because you're shooting for $25,000 minimum cash flow. You only have 16,530, so you're going to be about 8,000 some odd short of that. You do that for each month. And then the only other clarification I want to give you is beginning cash balance. Each month, your ending cash balance for February becomes your beginning cash balance for March. Simple enough. And in May, you simply carry that to that last total or ending balance. So you take your ending cash balance for May and plug it into the beginning of the total or ending cash balance column. Now, the only other thing on the total or ending, in your cash receipts and cash disbursements, you're going to total up all of those columns for cash receipts, and that will give you a total cash receipts. Same with cash disbursements. At that last column, you'll want to put in a sum of all of those cash disbursements, and then you will subtract the total cash receipts. You'll subtract the total cash disbursements from that to get your net cash flow. Likewise, your ending cash balance is calculated just like all the other columns, and then you will subtract the 25,000 that was your target, and you will get, and these are going to be big negative numbers, I'll just tell you, because you're not doing what you wanted to do with this budget. In other words, you were shooting for 25,000, you're way short of that. You're going to have to go back and make some adjustments if you're the CEO of this nonprofit, I'm just telling you. So at any rate, I hope that clarifies things for you, and let me know if you have any other questions.